For years, K-pop has taken the world by storm by debuting groups that make addicting and irresistible music. And since K-pop acts regularly do very well internationally, I think we can all agree that it is the most popular Asian music today, and no one can seem to overcome their spot as number one. Well, not until a certain boy group from the Philippines entered the picture and took a spot on the Billboard chart, and the rest is history. But it was not an easy road, and the group had to overcome countless setbacks before they were able to make a name for their own. In this video, we are going to meet the P-pop sensation SB19 and discover the struggles they've been through before reaching stardom. Okay, cool. Let's get started. There aren't many larger domestic pop artists in the Philippines than SB19, and nothing seems to be able to halt the rise of the five-piece boy band since their songs started going viral. Have you seen your favorite K-pop group covering the song Gento? Well, it's their song, and currently, SB19 is one of the biggest boy groups outside the Korean music spectrum. Everything started with SHOBT Philippines Corp, the company in charge of SB19, which is the Philippine branch of Song Han-kyung's SHOBT from South Korea. Kyung, a former comedian who transitioned from being an entertainer in South Korea's media sector to entrepreneurship over 10 years ago, has played a key role in the effort to apply the K-pop paradigm to SB19, in the hopes that the group will have a significant impact on the global music scene. When I first visited the Philippines for market research 5 years ago, I noticed the Filipino fans' enthusiasm and energy for K-pop, Song Han-kyung said. The 5 members of the group SHOBT from among Filipino star hopefuls. Take note, many of them were K-pop enthusiasts since Korean music is pretty big in the country. After 3 years of preparation, SB19 released Tila Luha as their debut single in 2018. But things were not as smooth sailing when they first debuted, and the group had little to no media attention because P-pop boy groups are not a thing in the Philippines. However, they didn't let minor challenges hinder their dreams and decided to find a better way to market themselves to their target audience. Sejun of SB19 talks about how the group has benefited from the artistic instruction and marketing strategies of K-pop, saying, "We have a sense of universality, and we take something and utilize it to make something better out of it." He then elaborated that the group decided to train hard just like their K-pop counterpart, since such a system has been tested and proven for many years already. What they have been doing in Korea, the K-pop idols there, they have this intensive training where you have to make your moves synchronized. You're singing while you're dancing, and it's really hard. To utilize that here in the Philippines is really great, because there are lots of talented Filipinos that are not given opportunity, so that we can show the talent of the Philippines all over the world. But we all know that all beautiful things take time, and a success like this surely has a backstory worthy of talking about. SB19 recently opened up about the struggles that they have gone through before stepping into the fame and glamour they are enjoying. In an interview with TV host Toni, the group visited memory lane and shared the hardship that the 5 of them faced while starting. Pablo, the group's leader, took the liberty to speak about how seeing posts about aspiring artists made him remember his old self. "We would usually read stories they share on Twitter. When we read their stories, we see our past selves, who started out like them, dreamers." He then revealed how rough it was for the group, that they even experienced sleeping on the floor and starving while training. All of our struggles and hardships, those times when we would sleep on the floor, we would have nothing to eat, and we would just wait. We would even borrow money for transportation so that we can go to our training. These struggles came naturally, especially since boy band culture is not that well known in the Philippines. Most Filipinos are still into the concept of boy groups, but they mostly follow international artists and seldom local ones. This means that SB19 was able to open a door for local boy groups to have an avenue to showcase their talents and be known. We can even say that SB19 is the starting point of the comeback for boy bands in the Philippines, and all the hardship they have been through is indeed worth it. The boys also talked about their first ever performance, which was attended by only 20 people. Yep, you heard that right. The group started with this number of supporters, and they are never ashamed of their humble beginnings. Did I also mention that the group did not have a proper venue for these performances before? Josh revealed that they would perform in random places, like beside a mall with many people passing by in order to gain attention. As if these struggles were not bad enough, there was also a point in their career that the boys thought of disbanding because of the unbearable hardships that they were going through. There was really a time when nothing was happening. We've been training for so long. So it was decided, even before we had our debut, when there were still plenty of us in the group, and then leaving one by one. And at one point, it was decided on when everyone left. After this, Pablo then mentioned how that stagnant phase in their career gave them most of the harsh reality of pursuing a dream surrounded by uncertainty. Is this still right? And everyone around you would say, quit that already. You've been there for 3 years. Nothing will come out of that. There's nothing for you there. And it'll really get into your head. But one person made the other members stay, and it was Stel. Josh revealed how Stel made him realize something very important during that time, saying, "Then when we quit, Stel stayed. So when I left the building, I said, were my decisions right?" Something like that. I was really bothered. I felt like I needed to go back because Stel stayed. Josh then stayed, because if he still had faith, why can't I? There, I came back. Because of Stel's determination and commitment to the goal they have started, other members of SB19 turned around and continued training, recognizing that the craft they are doing is not just a hobby or a pointless dream. It's their passion, into which they pour their sweat and blood. I wanted to give it another chance. Why would you give up on something you take a chance on? You wouldn't be able to prove to yourself that you can do it. So, in short, when you try something, give it your all. Do everything you can. And just like that, SB19 was able to reap the fruits of their labor, overcoming hardships and achieving rare milestones that no local boy group was able to achieve. Since numerous South Korean entertainment organizations have launched acts geared towards the Japanese and Chinese markets over the years, localizing the K-pop model isn't really a new concept. However, SB19 is the first act from the Philippines to achieve popularity, in part because of its social media presence. As a result, they have become regulars on Billboard's Social 50 chart, which is currently primarily dominated by K-pop groups. Every country has its own culture of pop, Pablo says. What differs us from other countries is the soul we put in it, everything that we've experienced in life, everything that influences us as an artist, our culture, our language. That's what we put into our music, and we want to show that to the world. Towards the end of their interview with Toni Gonzaga, Pablo mentioned how their success is something they are very proud of, and all of the things they have are because of the struggles that they've overcome. All of those things led us to this. So when you reach that point, you could say, this is sweet. Treasure it. He also thanked the fans, Atin, for their undying support for the group. He also mentioned how the fans fuel their enthusiasm to do better and push them to continue improving as artists and individuals. While they are there, we'll continue doing what we do because they say we inspire them. So now, they also become our inspiration to thrive. SB19 has been through many ups and downs throughout its journey and was tested by many obstacles, even to the extent of disbanding. But despite it all, the group was able to pull themselves together and discover within themselves their passion for music and their love for their fans. After many years of tears and pain, SB19 is now at the pinnacle of its success, enjoying the view from the top, the very spot they once dreamed of achieving. So, what do you think about SB19's struggles and hardships? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to give this a like and subscribe for more.